Did New England prove they're the best team in the AFC?
Ooh. I tell you what, they proved that they're back in the race. I don't like crowning anybody in October, especially in football. That's baseball.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could crown.
In baseball, you crown them, right?
Yeah.
Football, you don't. They still have another half the year to play. Now, I think what we did see, though, that especially early in the game, that New England's defense frustrated Mahomes. Sitting in the pocket, got the pick by the linebacker. I mean, they did some things to him in the first half. Got into the red zone. They bowled up. Didn't let him get into the end zone. Made him kick field goals. And then Tom Brady did what he always does, especially early in the game. Goes down long marches, kept the ball, kept that dynamic offense and that young quarterback on the sideline. And they were just taking dink and dunks. The running game was working for New England. So everything was working on their benefits, on their behalf. And their defense played a lot better early than they did later in the game. So I just think you're excited. You're always excited because you got Tom Brady. You're always excited about that. But I think you got to just pump the brakes a little bit. It's still a long season. I think the one thing I do know, when Bill Belichick plays a team like that, he's going to take away the number one choice. And what they did with Kelsey is what everybody should be doing with those big tight ends.
Banging them.
Banging them. You bang them at the line. You don't let them get going. And you give them to the safety or corner on the back end. And that's what they did. They frustrated him the whole game. Now, Tyreek Hill got caught going late, which I don't understand, how a safety can be sitting there and he throws the ball down the middle of the field and they're in a single high defense and he does nothing. Yeah. He just sits there and watches him catch the ball and run away from him.
I think they're afraid of him. Like you feel like you have to stay down, get ready.
He is fast. He runs a 4.2. But he only runs a 4.2 when you let him run a 4.2. So if you don't get your hands on him, that's track speed. That's 8 men in a lane.
Yeah, it is.
I don't get that.
No, I don't. They didn't show they're the best because all they've done is that they held serve at home. I believe the outcome would be different if they played in Kansas City. I believe the outcome would be different. I believe the Chargers are getting back in this thing. They're going to be the deal with.
They are.
And once they get Bosa back, because right now they got the Baker yesterday better than they had gotten to any quarterback in the previous 5 games. But when they get Bosa back, so now you just can't slide the protection to Melvin Ingram because Bosa is a monster. He's a Defensive Player of the Year candidate every time he steps onto the football field. But when you look at, and I agree with you, Woody, what they did earlier is that, and I said Kansas City, you dodged the bullet last week because you're playing the Jags, and they don't have the potential to score points like New England. Now, when you get down in the red zone against New England, you better not kick field goals because Tom Brady, when he get in your red zone, he's scoring touchdowns. And you better not turn it over because Tom Brady is not going to turn it back over to you like Blake Bortles, that garbage pail, what he is. But anyway, no, Skip Bayless, I do not believe the Patriots are always going to be there. As long as Coach Belichick, as long as Tom Brady's there, they're never going to be out of it. But this is the first year you can honestly say they're not head and shoulders above everyone else. Pittsburgh might have a say. Now, you know this. If Baltimore Ravens got to go to New England,
they got a shot.
They do not fear New England whatsoever.
They got legacy. They got history on
they will go in there, they'll battle them.
Well, Suggs isn't afraid, I can tell you that.
So this is the first time in a long time I think we can honestly say New England is not head and shoulders above everybody. It's New England, and then there's everybody else. No, I think Kansas City, New England, the Chargers are all right there.
So, I learned this a long time ago, and I'm going to stand by it. I'm not going to bet against Tom Brady. At 41, he's playing as great as he ever played. I'm going to say it again. He threw for 182 yards in the fourth quarter last night and controlled the football 11 minutes to 4 because the more that kid had the football, the more they were going to score. Yeah. Because once he got his 2 crazy, wild interceptions out of his head, then he's not bothered by anything. Once he got locked in, once he figured out what they were trying to do to trick him, he started to shred them. They scored 31 in the second half at Foxborough. That's a lot of points. Yeah. And I'm going to say it again. What's going to have to happen from this point forward is that Tom Brady is going to have to overcome Bill Belichick's defense because it's not very good. it's below average at best. And I'm going to remind you, it got torched at Jacksonville by Blake Bortles. It got torched in Detroit by Matthew Stafford. And it got torched again last night by Andy Reid's offense with all those weapons. And again, it was pretty predictable that they were going to score a bunch of points, but it took Tom Brady scoring 43 to overcome 40 that they allowed 31 in the second half. So now, overall, for the year, Bill Belichick's defense has allowed the 18th most points in the NFL. That's tied with the Vikings, who have also not been, they've been a big disappointment too.
Yes.
But 18th, and meanwhile, very quietly, Brady's offense has risen to 4th in scoring points. Well, that's pretty good because it's behind just the Saints and the Chiefs and the Rams. I mean, so they're right up there with those.
Right.
They can score, and now that he's got obviously Edelman back and he's trying to force feed Josh Gordon, I don't think they're on the same page, but you figure they'll get more and more of a wavelength. Well, he's got enough weapons that he can score a bunch of points. And what they're going to have to do is they're going to have to win time of possession. They won last night 36-24, and that was huge in that game because if it's not like that, they're going to lose.
Yeah.
Because the more that kid had the ball, I mean, you look at the plays. So Tom Brady they had the ball for 36 minutes and scored 43 points, and the kid only had it for 24 minutes and scored 40 points.
Yeah.
Well, what's that tell you about the defense? You're just getting lit up, man.
Well,
Big
when you
play.
go one play for 7 seconds,
That's what I'm
75
saying.
yards.
I know.
Yeah. I mean, when you play a guy like that, you know he likes taking shots.
Yes.
So your game plan, you got to tell your DBs, you have to stay on top. You have to stay on, and you have to keep him in the pocket, which they did in the first half.
Right.
They kept him controlled in the pocket,
Right.
meaning inside the tackles. Didn't let him get comfortable because he's good inside the pocket too. I mean, the kid is a really good player.
Yeah.
But he's really in his comfort zone when he steps out of that tackle.
Either way, rolling left or right.
And it doesn't matter. And he's looking down the field to take shots down the field.
Right.
And if he sees one person out of position, one DB out of position, he's throwing that ball to his guys. So they did a really good job in that first half. In the second half, they seemed like they just loosened up a little bit.
You know, the
now, he
only
got out that
success-
pocket and made
The
plays.
success I saw is when they went after him and they got him throwing off his back foot because he'll just chuck it up,
Yeah.
man.
And
right?
but he wasn't able to get,
especially at the end.
and he had an opportunity to get Tyreek Hill again, and they put pressure on him.
They
He
did.
wasn't able to drive the ball.
Couldn't get it down.
Coach Belichick played more zero coverage than I think I've ever seen him play.
It's been quite a long time the last time I've seen a lot of zero coverage from Belichick. It's very rare. But the one thing I think they realize is that if you put pressure on him,
Right.
it's hard to throw off that front foot.
Right.
It's hard to bring the
Because
weight to the front foot.
Because you know that helmet coming to your chin.
Because that last play, he was on his back foot.
Yes.
I mean,
He
he
was.
threw that thing on his back foot. And now Tyreek Hill had him beat. Had the DB beat.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
He
Yeah.
was behind him.
Yeah.
He did.
The ball was underthrown, and then the DB at least had a chance.
And then third down conversion, they were only 40%. The Patriots were like 67% on third.
Yeah.
And that's the difference in the ball game. Tom Brady stays on the
They
field.
didn't punt.
Right. Tom Brady stays on the field,
Yeah.
get an extra three cracks at you, get the ball in the end zone.
And you know what? Sony Michel is starting to figure it out.
I told you.
I know you did. You said it. You said it. But
He's
he
a
went
player.
he went 25 times last night for 106 yards. Didn't catch a ball because they let
James
the other
White.
little guy take
Yeah.
care of that, right?
And James White runs the ball between the tackles better than you think he
does.
would for somebody his size. But Sonny Michel, Skip, he's a guy that needs to have lanes. And that's how they ran him at Georgia. And so when they're in that 3-by-1 and he can see lanes, oh, you got your hands full dealing
Yep.
with him now.
So the Patriots last night, they ran it 3 more times than they threw it, which is rare in this day and age because Kansas City threw it 19 more times than it ran it because that's what they did.
And they were getting it. Think about it. Hunt was getting 8 yards a clip. But when you're down by 17 points, it's hard for you to run the ball, Skip, because you want to get back into the ball game, and you know you have these weapons. You have a Hill, you have a Kelsey, you have a Watkins, and then you got Hunt out of the backfield. So you get away from running it. They could just run the ball because Hunt was still getting 5, 6, 8 yards a clip.
He was. I think the biggest thing when you look at the turning point in that game was Kansas City marching down before halftime. The young fellas trying to make a play.
It was a big.
They had him doubled the whole time.
Yes.
And he kept looking at Kelsey, He rolls out of the pocket, and he gives him a shot anyway with 2 guys sitting right there. And he's going to learn that, you know what? We get 3 points. We get the ball back.
Right.
We get the ball back first in the second half. So now we have a better opportunity. So that's 3 points off the board, and they get the ball back. And what did they do the first time they got the ball back? They went down and scored a touchdown.
That's the thing. He's a young guy. You learn. Coach, if you look at what the Patriots normally do, Skip, they like to get the ball. They like to defer. They always like to go down and score right before the half, knowing they're going to get the ball coming out of the half. So now, not only will they get 3 to 7, now they say, you know what? Now we finna drive the nail in the coffin. Now we finna go up 10. We finna go up 14 to really put you in harm's way. But he'll learn that the arm he has and the weapons, because Tyreek Hill, he can outrun coverage.
Their weapons is Tyreek Hill, Kelsey, and Hunt. That's their 3 weapons.
Yes.
Take away one of them, the other guy, that track speed, that dude's really fast. I tell you, I'm glad I've never played against somebody that fast because he can run.
I've never seen anybody, and Skip and I was talking about the first one, I've never seen anyone catch the ball because the ball was thrown behind him. His feet hit the ground, and he outruns the angle. I'm like, dude,
But like Rod said, Duron Harmon's just watching. He's just like, he can't.
Oh, he's scared.
Yeah.
But you don't. But unless you like been around people that can run that fast, you don't. TV don't do it justice. How fast this kid is.
Bottom line, the New England advantage, it still plays in the AFC East, and I'm pretty sure it can sweep the East.
Oh yeah.
Pretty sure it'll have a hard game at the Jets and maybe a hard game at the Dolphins. But other than that, I just think they can sweep, and that'll put them a leg up on something.
Did you see Buffalo yesterday? Did you see Nathan Peterman?
Nathan Peterman.
How is Nathan Peterman still in the league?
Missed that one.
Oh, Nathan.
He may not be today.
Yeah, he's still, well.